Hello there survivors, and welcome back to another build video in ARK Survival Ascended. Today I'm going to show you how to build a gingerbread house in ARK Survival Ascended using the cosmetics from the Winter Wonderland event in 2025. They added these brand new skins, a lot of cool new skins actually, lots of decorations, even variants and cool options. So if you want to go full in this holiday event, then you can build a nice little gingerbread house to match the vibes. You can craft all of these skins in the smithy. There's a holiday tab, and that's where you get all of these. As always, of course, if you enjoy seeing these types of videos and you want to continue to see more, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So yeah, let's go into actually building a little gingerbread house. It's not going to be a massive base, but just something nice and cute, I think, for the holiday season. So I think we want to start with kind of the main shape. I think is going to be 3 wide, or maybe 4 wide. Now 3 wide is going to be plenty, I think. And that's then let's make this like 6. It's a little bit hard to see whilst placing because of all the snow, but the snow should clear itself out. Is this... Oh yeah, the snow is still here, but it should clear out a bit more because there's no structures there. So it's kind of hard to see what is actually the ground or not. So yeah, this would be my little house. I'm just gonna texture that so it definitely stands out by a lot, so that we know exactly where the little foundation is going to be. And then I think we'll have a little addition here on the front so that we know that is how we can get in and out of the building. And then we might do some fun things on the opposite ends as well, right, to make it a little bit nicer. But I think this is a pretty good start to it all. And I think what we'll do here is just make a nice front door, right? Like we want to just have a very nice little entrance here, which I think that's what this will be. So maybe something like this. Or maybe we could even add some more layers to it by having this be a little bit more flat. Yeah, maybe we do that. We actually don't go this high, but we just make a like separate little entrance building. Do I want to keep it that flat, or do I then... Maybe I do raise it up like this because we made it less high. And then we could have this as a little entrance. And then, of course, add a little edge around this so that we have... You know, even if we're just building a little gingerbread house, we still want to make sure it's nice and detailed, right? We're still going to go and try and make something we're going to be proud of. And I think here along the outside I actually want to have maybe a little bit of like a porch going around the place. Can I even do that? I guess we can still walk around there. Okay, so let's get some stairs in here. So some stairs over there, some stairs here in the front, and then some stairs to the side is, I think, what I want. And that means we can bring out some pillars on the corners of these. There we go. That's just all to get started. And then, of course, we can start transforming this with the gingerbread skins. And then we actually... probably want to change these looks so that they stand apart a bit more from the inside. So we're just going to go for the chocolate look for the porch. All right, let's see what this is going to look like once we skin this, because I'm sure that's going to massively change the way this all looks. There we go. So that's just a nice and cozy little entrance. And I definitely think then for these walls here on the side, I probably want to have some nice windows in the middle of those sections. So just gonna divide those walls up like that. There we go. We'll make some proper windows. I guess we also want to actually add in the windows themselves. Because if I remember correctly, we get a really nice window if we do that. There we go. Do we want to change any of the variants here? I mean, we could have a little bit of chocolate on those corners, I suppose. Or alternatively, we could focus on the interior. Maybe that's even better, because then it kind of continues like that. That could be quite nice. And I think those we don't want to change. Maybe here, the inside. We also want to make sure that that continues. Yeah, that's pretty nice. That is very nice indeed. So what we definitely want to do is have some railings around the sides of these, right? Because that would be pretty nice. Can I not snap alongside the staircase there? I guess maybe that one isn't deep enough. There we go. I mean, maybe we don't do it if we can't do it on both sides. But we'll have these little candy canes. That's definitely gonna be very nice to have around here. All right, let's see. We have a cute little entrance here, but we definitely want to add some more to it. Is there any of these? I think I want to have a few of those bigger candy canes right around the corner of the stairs here. So what we'll have to do is right around there. I want to have a deco box. And I want to have another one here. And that should give us some nice candy canes that we can have here in front of the house as a nice little entrance to it all. Okay, so for this part, I think what we want to do is basically continue this layer up. Yes, just like this. And I think here in the middle, we're going to have two little windows. We're going to have some of that. There we go. I think that is kind of the vibe that we want to have. Because I think that will look quite nice once we have skinned it all. Of course, we'll have to start with actually skinning it to know for sure. We'll have some doors in here, of course, to get the proper look. There we go. I think that looks quite nice already. I might do some pillars along the sides there. There we go, because we can transform those into some nice pieces of candy too, which I think is going to add just that extra little bit to the whole build. There we go. And then if we wanted to, we could even add some changes to that, of course, by, you know, transforming some into the different kind of candy. I think that definitely might be the one to go for. It just looks a little bit nicer, I think, with that color scheme. So we have this wall, we have the pillars. Then what we want to do is we actually want to bring out our quarters along this side first. Which is actually going to give us a little gap here, which is annoying. But it should also give us a really nice roof. So we have some quarters along there. I guess then we could have this stick out further, but we don't really need to be festive. So yeah, we can have those roofs just like that. And now, once we transform that all, I'm sure that's gonna be lovely. We definitely want to change these variants into chocolate. There we go. And of course, we'll have the windows. Oh, we haven't applied the skins here yet. We can have the windows up there just so that we have a very nice little roof there. I think we should actually totally be able to get this snap point, because that's, I guess the pillar might be preventing that non-official. I'm not entirely sure. Hopefully it isn't. And otherwise, I don't know what else you could do there. There we go. That's quite nice. This wall I also want to change. I think we want the gingerbread man there. And then we have maybe some room here for some decorations. Because maybe what I could do is have the snowflakes right there. That looks pretty cool. So we have the side roofs now, and what we should do now is kind of design the top half of the building here. So this would have two walls like this, and that would be the total shape of the house over here on the sides at least. So there would be, of course, another pillar going up here, which would look lovely with these items. And then, of course, here we could potentially, oops, up here we're gonna do this instead. I never destroyed anything. Then we're gonna have that one goes into more quarters, and that is the shape of this side of the building. There we go. Then we want to have a pillar down there, and once we transform all that, that should already look pretty nice, I think. The shape of the roof now, so we know that these quarter pieces are gonna go like that to kind of create the that's not what I want to place down at all. I wanted, of course, to Christmasify or gingerbreadify those pieces. It also means that we now know that this is how high this roof is going to go. And that should be the main roof. So then we know that this will meet up just... Oh, it won't really meet up, so that's kind of fine. I guess the main issue would now be if I want to make this little overhang unofficial. I guess what you would have to do is this. You would just have to build around it and just leave those open. On unofficial, and if you have clipping, you can of course do that for smoother details, but still you could definitely still do this unofficial without needing those two pieces. Yeah, I think that still works. We can still get that all together. Okay, so we have this so far. I feel like we might as well now focus on this little side building. And actually what I really wanted to do is add a little addition here. So maybe something like this, just so that we have a little bit of a fun extra shape here. And then you can do something like that. It's not the best shape, actually. I guess it's because we have a bit of a weird size house. I think we cannot make it that big. We need to make it quite small. for it to work, but then we could have just a small addition. Actually, I didn't even check out these roof pieces. I totally forgot. But yeah, we also have these pieces. That is also an option. Yeah, what do I do here? Because there's not any full windows. I think we definitely want to have some more of those pieces along the side. Or do I just have a bunch of windows here? Maybe that's what I do. There we go. And then we can have just a bunch of windows for this little side building, because I feel like that makes sense. And then down here, we want to get those slope walls in to finish that wall. Because then, you know, this side of the building has a little bit of extra interest, a little bit more shape to it than just going down all the way. And I always like to... That's something that I really try to do, like, is make every side of a building have something interesting going on. And I think that kind of, you know, rounds it off in a nice way, adds some nice details. I guess we could still go for the railings along the side of these. There we go. That finishes that pretty nicely. Now, if we kind of focus on the inside a little bit, I guess we do want to worry about this floor right about now. So this would be where that floor would be located, of course. And I guess we're gonna have to figure out kind of where the stairs go. I think this will just go all the way here. And then maybe we can have some stairs somewhere around here. Yeah, why is there so much snow back in the building again? I need to clear out my own building. What's going on here? I need some help clearing my house of snow, please. I'm snowed in. I'm snowed in. Okay, but anyway, if we have this staircase, we can in fact get up to this floor. We should be able to skin all of those pieces, and then I guess for this top layer we're gonna go back to more chocolate. So we want to change the variants until they're all nice and chocolatey. Why is that one the other way around? That is a little bit confusing. Oh, there we go. And then I guess along this side here, we'll definitely also have that part. Although I kind of forgot about these parts. So yeah, that sticks out a little bit further. So yeah, here it goes into the building. We can change all those. We definitely also want to make sure that those are chocolate. There we go. So that should all line up. That means we can have some window walls here, and then this side, of course, we're gonna do the same thing as the other side. I don't know if we also want to have a gingerbread man in the middle. Maybe actually not, because what you could also do instead of the gingerbread man is go for the empty wall, and then we could actually add a snowflake in there. Nope, that's not this skin. We need to then go into my cosmetics, find the snowflake, and add it in there. Yeah, that's really nice, actually. I really like the snowflake. That's a really cool addition. I think that looks really cool. The windows as well. The windows are very nice. These windows, just the actual windows themselves, like those little things, I think you could use those for other builds. Like if you just only skin that, not the whole wall, just that thing. They make for some nice windows, I think, that you could use in a log cabin or something. So that would be pretty cool, because then you could use it all year. Okay, so we'll have those roofs. I think also, now that we know this, we can still kind of have those little additions in there. And then again, for this side, let's leave this open for now, but we know the middle is where the main thing is. But yeah, looking at this, it's starting definitely to feel like a proper gingerbread house. Let's see what we want to do for these walls. Because they might be a little tougher than I expected, especially this piece here. Might make it a little bit trickier than I thought. So what I would love to do is figure out a way to do that without having to clip anything. So maybe if I do this, I can do that. I guess what we're gonna have to do is just do that. Because that's the only way I can think of without actually clipping through anything. And I guess that kind of works. And then we just leave this open, because it's just one room to the other. Yeah. That works for me. Yeah, this is different. So we need to change these roofs. We need to have the quarter pieces over there. And then we need to have those pieces, because we want to have a window there. All right, let's see. If we add that in, that should be the rest of my floor up here. So we can have those. Have a proper view from the front of the building. Yeah, so we can continue these, and then we'll have some quarter pieces in there. Is that what I did? I think that's what I did. Roughly. Yeah, that seems about right. Okay, we need to have the little edge of quarter ceilings along this side. There we go. Let's change these all to the chocolate. And then I guess we can have our slope walls. There we go. And then, do I want to have another? I kind of wanted to make a custom addition here now that I think of it. So let's see. Oh, that was all connected. That wasn't what I wanted to do. Let's see, because I kind of would love to make a little custom addition on this side. So what we have now, even though we can't see it because of the snow, is 3 foundations, but can I take some of these out without destroying everything? I can. So what I want to do is change these to quarters. Oh man, why is the snow misbehaving this badly? There we go. I basically want to stick these out by just a little bit, so that I have 2 foundations out here that I can work with. Because I would really like to have a dino gate on this side, because they look awesome. And I want one in the build. So yeah, I think that's what we'll have on this side. We'll just have a nice dino gate as an entrance. We can build up the walls like that. The same over here. So we raise up the quarter walls all the way up. And yeah, then I guess we can have these the same here. We probably Want to have a window there. Fill in those walls. So that's kind of just the same way as we had on the other side of the building. Of course, all of these we want to skin too. There we go. Yeah, because this gate is too cool not to try and utilize in the design. We just have to find a way to actually make sure that it lines up, because normally, of course, this is where the gateway goes, so there might be some like visual gaps going on. But technically we probably can kind of fill in around that if I go for some ramps here. That is probably already gonna solve it. Oh, there we go. So we'll just have a little extra layer like that in there, so that we don't leave any gaps, you know. Want to keep the cold snow on the outside, and then if we have these pieces there, it should already be fully filled in again. And then I guess this side actually just needs that, because that is the shape of the building. There we go. That looks quite cozy, and that also instantly gives us a nice addition on this side of the building. Let's actually get the pillar going up here on the side. We'll change these variants again, because I think the pink just matches very nicely with the rest of the skins. Here on the inside, we want to change these variants so that these things still continue on all of those quarter pieces. The gate works. We have, of course, our staircase going up, and I guess it also kind of means that we might have a little bit of a balcony maybe on the inside, which, I mean, it totally works for me. Can I get the skins going the right way? I can. There we go. We have some lovely railings around here. Plenty of candy canes. So yeah, this would probably be the bedroom. Then we have some room up here for other things. And then hopefully we can get all the snow out of the house. Why is the snow still in here? I don't know. But hopefully it will stay away. Like, look at how much snow there's in my house. I've not seen this happen yet. Is it just the location where it doesn't it doesn't register? Or have they added a new feature? I need my walls to be there, because otherwise the snow will get into my house. Alright, but with that, we do have that section done. I should be able to fill in this section. Yeah, I think what I did here for the roof is not gonna work, so I kind of need to change these parts around. So what I want first is have those quarter pieces and then two normal roofs over here, because I mean it looks the same, but now if you're, well, not unofficial, you can overlap those so that we have no gaps in the roof. Well, you wouldn't have gaps in the roof, you would just have like a little opening there. No big deal. I don't think you'll notice too much. But yeah, this just looks a little nicer. And then of course up here, I definitely want to have those windows in there because it looks very cool. And then I guess down on this side, we still need these quarter pieces around the edge. We want to get them in chocolate form. I do need that piece to be there, by the way. Is that going to be an issue? Not really. It's not really too much of an issue. It's just gonna look a little bit weird. That's all. Although maybe once I shape up the rest of the build, it won't be that bad. Let's do that now. So on here at the top layer, we want to have the quarter walls. Then underneath, we have the slope wall. So yeah, that's kind of the shape that we're dealing with. So yeah, we do have that little edge, I guess. That might be a little bit weird, but there's no way around that, unfortunately. So over here, we're going to have two of the quarter roofs, and then on the top there, we're going to have the quarter roofs. Then full roofs here and full roofs over there. Should bring us a lovely completed roof here, and then the nice little window addition over there. That is starting to look like a proper little gingerbread house to me. Definitely got some cozy vibes going. So then we of course have the window here at the back. We can create that same window over here. So we want to have some of the quarter walls and then the actual window here. That is pretty nice, I think. There we go. Do I just want to have a similar thing here, or do we maybe go for something slightly different? Because we could also do that, right? Like we could go for different looks. Also, I think at this layer, I might do that. Do I want to do that here? What options do we have? I might want to go empty ones for those. Because then instead of the empty walls, we can have snowflakes. And I really like the snowflakes, so I just want to have some more. Although, instead of the snowflakes, I just thought we could also do some dino cookies instead. We could have some nice big dino cookies on the walls. Why not? You know, you could go any way. It is a gingerbread house after all. We want all the candy on there. We definitely are going to have some decorations in those corners. I do think I might want to change it up for this side. So maybe we do like a little balcony here. Actually, we could still have one of the windows. So yeah, then we could just turn one of this into a beautiful little balcony, I think. Do I want to make that bigger than that is right now? There we go. And then we have a lovely candy cane railing that we could have at the back. I suppose we could have some supports underneath. Awesome. And I definitely want to change... Oops. Them to chocolate. There we go. I think that is a pretty nice looking balcony here around the back of this place. We do, of course, also want to add in the pillars, I think, all the way from top to bottom. We hadn't added those over here yet. There we go. Change those all to the pink versions. Very nice. And then I guess all that's left is the bottom wall here, right? Because what other decorations do we still have? Some of the interior things. What could we still have on the wall? Not really necessarily anything. Except these two. So I guess what we could do is just make sure that we can decorate this wall. And I feel like that makes more sense if it's nice and centered. And I think I want to have that one empty and that one like that. Let's see what the inside looks like. A bunch of snow. We want, of course, make sure that these quarters continue all the way through. So yeah, that's now all the way through from one side to the next. I guess that's kind of what I wanted to do. I really wanted to maybe, you know, have some nice interior, but I guess we have a bunch of snow on the inside. Let's not have cloudy weather. We want to be able to see our build in all the lovely details. So yeah, I think the front, I really like that angle. And then this balcony we have over here is pretty nice. Is it pretty nice? It might be a little bit too big with the addition here. I think it might be better off just being that size. Very nice. Then I actually think I want to have some additional details here. And I think we could keep those red. Just to make those stand out a little bit. And then could have little roofs like that above the windows. There we go. And the reason I'm using roofs, not ramps, is because the roofs get the nice different color, and the ramps are pretty similar to the walls themselves. So then here in the middle, we definitely want to have some deco boxes. So one over here and one over there, just so that we can decorate that wall. So we'll have a cookie there, and we'll have a snowflake at the bottom. There we go. That looks pretty damn festive to me. Yeah, look at that. That's a whole little Christmas build. Then I guess what we'll do is we definitely want to have the sleigh over here to the side. We can have one of the Christmas trees on those corners, perhaps. Then I definitely also want to have cool marshmallow dudes. So maybe we can have those standing in here. Okay, let's see. Let's see all the options we have. So the sleigh is going to go there. There we are. Unfortunately, it does not push away the snow as much as I liked. But the sleigh, it can be in snow. That makes sense. You know what? We'll even add a little snowman right next to it. It is going to be covered in snow because the snow apparently also doesn't care about that guy. This one I really like. So I want to have that one over that corner. And one over here, this corner. Look at that happy little guy. He's just so happy to welcome you to the lovely build. Then I was going to do a Christmas tree on that edge. And I was going to do another one there. But I think instead we'll go for like the big lolly just to change it up a little thing. You know, have different things on both sides. And then I guess what we also really want is some lights. So what I'm just going to do is at the very end here, we're going to have a lamp. We're going to do another one over here. And then we'll add one at this end too. Just to add some of these nice Christmas lights. Because the lanterns look quite cool, actually. So we'll have one here. 2 in the front. And another one over to the side. There we go. Look at all that. It is definitely looking festive now. Can we add... What can we add more? I don't think there's much point in doing a lot for the interior, but... You know, 'cause this is the snow in my house. But we do want to have a little bit of the interior. At least all the, you know, the nice options that we have available. So I want to have my bedroom here. And then I want to have a rug right over there. And then I have my bookshelf and a little bit of storage. And then probably what I also have here is some extras around the side. Then here I think we'll have a little bit of a loungy area. So we'd have a chair here, a chair over there. And then we're going to have the table right there in the middle. Okay, so let's grab a few of these skins now. We have this one we need, that one we need, this one too. Hot cocoa we're going to need. Is there any more interior skins? I think these are the kind of the interior ones. But, I mean, we might as well add a few of those. If we're doing the interior anyway, well, you might as well bring out all the little things we might add over here. So first of all, we have these lovely looking skins. We'll definitely want that as a table. And I guess what we could even do is like, I don't know how... Oh, that's way too big. Never mind. We can't have that right there. We can have the rug here. I mean, we might even want to have the rug here too. Just have another cozy rug over there. We want to have the storage look nice. Look at all that. That is very festive. We can, of course, have our lovely bed. Look at the bedroom, celebrating the Christmas vibes. And you know, whilst we're at it, I might as well also just have the holiday tree, like the normal one. I guess we could also have a forge in here if we're decorating the base up a little bit. Because of course this also still exists, although that is too tall here. So I think what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to have another one of my favorite little dudes out here. And then we'll just have a bit of storage there. There we go. Very festive, very fun up here. And then downstairs, unfortunately, I don't know why this snow is still in my house. But we'll have a Christmas tree. Does that fit? It does fit. That is very nice. Then I guess this is where my team would be. I guess we can have some nice forges, because we also have the skin from the last event, where we have these lovely forges. And I guess we can have a beer barrel in the middle here, which is then gonna be... Oh, I guess I actually wanted it sideways, because that's gonna look nicer. Little cocoa. Hot cocoa is ready to be made. Do you just use them as any cosmetic? There we go. We'll have that over here. And then we can actually have the benches on each side. Could even potentially have some chairs at the very end so that we could have a lovely little site over here. Look at that. Drinking your hot cocoa over there. I'm gonna have another little thing here. Maybe a little gingerbread man over there. And then this is gonna be a little bit of a lollipop. And then yeah, I guess that makes for a very cozy little Christmas house here. I guess we still need this gummy drop somewhere. Guess we can do that somewhere here too. There we go. Now we got it all. We still have some snow in my house for some reason. But I think that's just ARK doesn't know how to handle my greatness. But yeah, there we go. We have... Oh, no, I don't want to set a pin code. We have a lovely gingerbread house built in one go. But yeah, there we are. This is my lovely little gingerbread house with all of the little decorations that we have. So we have the lampposts, which are really cool. We have, of course, the snowman. You can make it wear a hat. We have the sleigh. This guy is definitely my favorite. I love this guy. He's just so happy to be here. We have the lollipop as well. We have the dino cookies, the snowflakes, and just the entire vibe of this place. I think it looks quite nice. This is a fun place to spend the holidays in for sure. Lots of details in these skins, lots of cool variation. Little addition here to that side. We have the nice back of the building too, with loads of detail. The roof variants, having this little guy is amazing. And then the dino gate, of course, at the very end. I think that looks like a very nice gingerbread house. So this is how you build a gingerbread house in ARK with the new skins. They are definitely very, very fun if you want to do some holiday themed building. And then, of course, there is a ton of items for pretty much all of the different structures, for a bunch of different decorations out there. And again, you can make your snowman wear hats, but they don't seem to always fit in the right spot. But yeah, that's it. That we have a little gingerbread house that came out pretty good. A nice little house. Of course, if you would skin this in different ways, I guess it could also just make a nice little log cabin or something. But yeah, embracing the winter gingerbread feelings in this one for sure. Anyway, guys, that is also going to be the end of this stream. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I hope to see you again in the next video or the next stream. For now, goodbye.